Hello, it's Tony from Jungle Tattoo Supplies. I just thought I'd do a brief explainer video about the Neuma 4 tattoo machine. They're a little bit different to most rotary machines, so people haven't seen them before. It's interesting to have a look at the setup and how they work and why they're a little bit different. I think we're currently the only people stocking them in the UK. So again, it's good for us to just be able to show people exactly how they're set up and why they're a little bit different. Now, I'm not going to go into an opinion on the performance of them because I'm not a tattoo artist. There'll be plenty of other videos out there that you're able to get an artist's opinion on the performance of the machine for actual tattooing. But in terms of the structure of the machine and just showing you briefly how they are put together and why they're a little bit different, there's a few interesting features that's well worth seeing. So this is our demo model of the standard Neuma 4 tattoo machine. This is the aluminium grip, which is the lightest of the grips. So the main one of the main things you can change with the machine and swap is the grip. You can go for the 27, 33 or 38 mil grip sizes, which obviously give you your preferred hold in your hand. The aluminium is the lightest of the grips, so that's better for shading generally, but they do have heavier grip materials. So the stainless steel, which is heavier than the aluminium, and the heaviest one they do is the brass as well, so that's a lot more weight in your hand. It's about 3 times heavier than the aluminium, so again you've got that extra weight in your hand, particularly good again for lining. But to swap your grip but also clean your grip, they very simply unscrew like this. That's fully autoclavable, so you can keep that incredibly clean. You can then swap your grip over if you're wanting to change the weight and balance of your machine. So straight away, you've got a completely different machine feel by swapping your grip over. Just to show you a couple of the grips, I mean, they do come in fancy colours. This is a 33 mil shift grip. So again, it's aluminium, this one, but they come in like different colours, like the petunia here. Or they have the other material sizes. So this is a brass one, so that's a 27 mil brass. So narrow one, but the heaviest material as well. But once you've got that grip off, this is where Neuma machines, the Neuma 4 for me is really different. It's the ability to just quickly change the cam. So each machine comes with 4 cams, unless you state otherwise, they'll come with the medium size, which is the 3.6 mil cams. So in fact, just to show you those, they come packaged in a nice box like this. And if I take the lid off there, you'll see the 20% cam, 20% profile is in the machine, and you get the 28%, the 33% and the 40%. So you've got the lining cam in the machine there. You've got the packing and shading cams and the 33%, which is in between, so you can find that balance for exactly the work you're doing. That one's actually the macro machine. I'll mention more about that in a moment, the newer ones. But all you do to change your cam is reach in, take out the cam, it pops off in the middle there, and you can just pick up another cam. So for example, you might have done your lining, use a lining cam, got to the end of that, take your grip off, swap your cams, you put a drop of oil in the centre of the cam there, and that goes back on the pin. Dead easy there in the middle. So that's just how you swap your cams. Now, all 4 of the profiles are available in 3 different sizes. You've got the 2.75 mil cams, 3.6 and the 4.2. So you've got 12 different cam profiles available. So combining that with the different grip sizes, you've got lots of different setups that suit you. Now, obviously, the 4.2, the longer cam, generally better for the lining, and the shorter one's generally better for packing and shading, but you'll find each artist has their own preference, and that's what's important to find when you're using a machine like this. The cams are identifiable because there are slight markings on them. I don't know how well you see this on the camera, but this is a 4.2 cam. So it's got 3 scratches on it across there. That's how they come. The 3.6 have 2 scratches on. The 2.75 just have a single scratch as well. So forgive my nail, by the way, I trapped my finger in a door the other day. It's not some sort of fancy nail varnish I'm trying out. So you can see which size cam they are, because that's not easy to identify, but then you can just tell your profile there. So that's a lining profile, and that sits on top of the bearing arm. So that's the final thing that is really interesting about the Neuma 4s, is that you can quite easily change that. So again, they'll come as standard with the brass bearing arm. So the really, really big feature about Neuma 4s is that brass bearing arm means that they hit like a coil. So unlike rotaries, and particularly pen-shaped rotaries, which have always been a bit light in the hand and much better for shading, this will pack a punch and it will line really, really well. So that's what the brass bearing arm does for it. But you're able to take a small Allen key, I did have one to hand but not picked it up, just loosen that bearing arm off, take it out and put in the aluminium one as well. So the aluminium one, it hits 5 times softer, so that's ideal when you're doing your shading and so forth as well. That's some of the oil. You do get some of that with each one that you buy, but you can buy those and make sure you've always got some of that to hand for when you're changing your cams, etc. And they're about a £5 and they'll last months. But that's the in and out of it really. So you've got 2 bearing arm options, aluminium and for soft hitting, brass for hard hitting. You've got 12 different cams, so that's 4 different profiles in 3 different sizes to suit the exact style that you want. And then you have a real selection of width of grip and weight of grip. So again, you can just find that absolute perfect balance in your machine, and it allows you to just have the perfect setup, not just for you, but for each quirk of work you're doing. So whether you're doing a big piece you want to work on a bit faster, or you're doing little intricate things, you can set your machine up in every way to make it work for you. And for me, that's what makes the Neuma 4 really unique. That would all be really useless if it wasn't performing well as well. And the feedback we have on people using the Neuma 4, it just is amazing. They're absolutely in love with them. So these are the standard Neuma 4s. The Macrons I mentioned, there's not a lot different to see with it, but these are the newer ones. And just to lift that machine out a moment, so it looks very similar. It's just, you'll see it's slightly broader, and that basically hits 50% harder. So the Macrons can help you work, with even bigger lines, for example, things that people might revert to a coil or hybrid for, but it can also help you work a bit quicker if that's your style to work with as well. So I thought as a little insight into the Neuma 4, how they set up if people haven't seen that before. And obviously we have all the different options available on our website as well. You can buy things like the cams individually. So once you bought a machine, any little additions you want to do, we've got all those options available as well. But you're very welcome to contact us with any questions. But these are well worth the investment. So hope that was useful, and we'll see you soon.